Well, in the game of football, bad days can happen to really great teams, and unfortunately, that's what's happened to my team pick to win the Super Bowl this year, the Detroit Lions. So, some time ago, I'd actually picked the Detroit Lions. Like, okay, this is a strong team. This is a team that was the number one seed in their conference. So I was like, uh, this is a really strong team, and they've been playing really well over the course of the season. But obviously, in their game against the Washington Commanders today, they just happened to fall short, right? They just happened to go down, and they went down 31 to 45. Now, give credit where credit is due. Like, I think you need to really give a lot of credit to the Washington Commanders. They played really solidly on offense. But I think where you really need to give them a lot of credit is also their defense. Like, that defense is turned out to play really, really well. And there's a lot to unpack from the game, right? But I think for me, what stands out is the four interceptions that the Commanders were able to get. Now, typically you blame interceptions on the quarterback, whoever is throwing the ball. Like, typically that's what you see. And there has to be some of that. Like, you can look at Jared Goff, the Lions quarterback, and say like, well, the guy has thrown interceptions in the postseason over the years, and maybe that's a fair criticism, but that happens to any quarterback. But on the other side, you really need to credit the Washington defense because they were actually able to get these interceptions. Now, when you look at the Lions defense, they were not able to get any interceptions on the Washington Commanders. And so I think that tells you a lot right there. Like, you got one team, one defense able to score four interceptions. One of these was actually in the end zone, which would have been a Detroit Lions touchdown, right? So that interception right there could have changed the entire outcome of the entire game. But so too were the earlier ones before that. They were quite pivotal. They could have, if you'd been able to avoid those interceptions, the Lions would have been in a much, much better place to stick to their playbook and to play the match the way that they really want to play, not have to be rushing on offense and having to be super aggressive. Now, they are an aggressive offense, but now you're forced to take extra chances, making really deep throws when if you had been able to maintain control of the game from the start, you wouldn't have been in such a desperate position as what the Detroit Lions found themselves in. So, I think it was a bit of a painful loss for Detroit Lions fans and a lot of people in the league that have been really admiring what the Detroit Lions have been doing all season. But I think there's a lot of positives. Obviously, the Detroit Lions have emerged as a great team since last season, right? They've been an amazing team. And so this year there was the possibility, the chance, the expectation that they could actually challenge the Kansas City Chiefs for the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. That they really could go all the way to the Super Bowl and kind of change the script, right? Instead of just getting the Chiefs winning everything every year, we could have a new champion. So now it remains to be seen, man. But the Lions really were my number one pick. I was really counting on this team to go all the way. Now it's really up to, I guess, the Buffalo Bills, which haven't really played all that well against Kansas City, or Baltimore Ravens, uh, who haven't gone to a Super Bowl in a long time. So there really is no knowing, and I'm sure that Kansas City fans are really, eager and expectant that they might win the Super Bowl again, which they got a fair chance of repeating again. So it was a bit of a disappointing game for Detroit Lions fans, but you know what? The game lives on, and I think the Lions are a great team, a great franchise. Uh, just one of my favorite kind of underdog franchises, and I'm sure they're gonna be back, man. And you know what? I think they're gonna win a Super Bowl one of these days.